came into our lives so unexpectedly. We found out a little baby was being born that needed a home. Cliff and I went to the hospital to meet her and to name her, and the following day we brought her home. Naomi was just such a happy child. She was just our life. She had a lot of personality. She had a lot of compassion. One of Naomi's causes, she just thought it was so wrong for people not to have a home to go to and to be able to eat. When Naomi was 4 years old, she had a stomach ache. She was running a fever. Her leg was hurting. We just couldn't touch her abdominal area. So Cliff and I took her to the emergency room. It turned out she had cancer. They diagnosed her with an undifferentiated sarcoma. Over a period of 10 months, Naomi just, this chemotherapy, radiation, surgeries. She was 4 years old. It was just so hard.
She was brave in the process.
Can you let go, Daddy?
No.
Here, let me.
Because I'll freeze if I do.
Here, why don't you let me sit on the bed with you so we can wrap up in the covers. That way we'll be warm.
And he'll protect you. Naomi had been in treatment for 10 months, and we ended the treatment with radiation. If the radiation didn't work, we knew it was downhill from then. And so we decided not to find out the results and just to have a really nice Christmas. We just didn't want to know. And we decided that that Christmas we wanted to just to be the three of us. And so we did. We had a really nice Christmas with just the three of us. And about middle of January, we took Naomi for her scans to find out the results of the radiation. And I was just driving around the city with Naomi in the back seat, and Cliff called and said, "Where are you guys?" And he said, "Tracy, you have to come home. You just have to come home." And so I came home. We came home. We drove into the garage, and right when I shut the garage door, my phone rang, and I answered it, and it was her oncologist. And she said, "When I read the scans, I'm not allowed to tell you. It has to be a radiologist, has to read them first. I called the radiologist, and he agreed to come in right away because I wanted to make sure I was seeing what I thought I saw." And she said, "Tracy, Naomi is in remission. No cancer. The tumor, there's no live cancer cells. She's in remission." I just started sobbing. And Naomi was sitting in the back seat and sobbing, and my phone rang, and Cliff was like, "Where are you guys?" And I was like, "We're in the garage," and I just started screaming over the phone and telling you what happened. And I remember you ran down to get us out of the car. And then that June, the whole family, we went to Nag's Head and all stayed in this big house. We just had so much fun. And Naomi remembered that week for just years afterwards. All the little details of what happened in that week. We just had the best time. Yeah. So Naomi was in remission for 3 years. December 28th, 2010. We took her in just for her routine scan. And the next day they told us the cancer was back. The same cancer. And that's significant. So they gave surgery. She had surgery. And then after her surgery, they just came to Cliff and I and said that there was nothing she could do and to take her home to die.
And I looked over there and I saw Molly, and Molly just stared at me for a bit. And then she just stared at me, and then I said, "Molly, you are grounded, young lady."
Took everything I had. To be able to smile and talk to her because I couldn't let on to her how we was feeling. So we just had to fight.
We had to fight for her. And it's such a helpless feeling that you're not a doctor. And you rely on other people for information. And I was her father who was having a hard time to be able to take care of her. I'm sorry. And I wasn't just gonna give up. We couldn't give up.
Mm-hmm. She knew her cancer was bad. She understood what it could mean. I remember one time we were just driving and she was in the back seat and she just said, "Mommy," just out of the blue, she just said, "Mommy, can I die?" And you know, I never lied to Naomi, but I just couldn't tell her that they said she is gonna die. And it was the Tuesday before she died that I knew she was gonna die. It was like she started protecting us. She started caring about my feelings, and I knew she knew. And I remember the surgeon saying that, yeah, they really believe that God talks to the babies and lets them know. And she never talked about it. The night before she died, she said goodbye to us. She was sleeping between us, and it was because it was hard to hold her because of the tumor. It was just literally just growing inside of her, and she had tubes from her kidneys, and it was just, you couldn't really hold her really tight. And I was sleeping, and she couldn't turn herself. She was so thin that she couldn't move her body on her own, and we had to put pillows between her legs so that, you know, because she was just so thin. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and she had her arms around my neck, and she was holding my neck really strong, and her face was really close to mine, and I could smell her breath. And I woke up, and then I just closed my eyes, and I was just laying there smelling her breath and thinking, God, I haven't like felt this for so long. And I just felt so good, and I just drifted off to sleep. And then I woke up again, and she had turned her body over, and she had her arms really tight around Cliff's neck. And I was going to let her know that I was awake, and I realized that she was saying goodbye to us. And the next morning, when we all woke up, she was really disoriented. She was looking around. I could see she didn't think she was going to wake up. And at first she didn't know where she was. Well, she didn't want to look at us because she thought she was going to die that night. And she just didn't want to look at us because she knew it was going to happen. And she died about 20 minutes later. In memory of Naomi, we decided to form an organization.
The name of the organization is Naomi's Fund.
Established in memory of Naomi and all children who fought the battle. The fund is to bring awareness to pediatric cancer, information of how to care for children with cancer, and to support research. Naomi was always with me when I went someplace. And my friend used to say, "Tracy, you wear that baby like a necklace." And now I wear her as a necklace. Naomi's ashes. She's always with me.